Welcome back. Today is day 12 of the 21-day abundance challenge to raise your vibration. And today we're going to be talking about laughter. So, laughter really is the best medicine. I was thinking about this before I got on to, and I was cracking up because, you know, my sister, she is one of the funniest people in the world. She should be a comedian. Anybody who knows her knows how funny she is, and she's always making me laugh. And I was trying to think about a story that was appropriate to share of something that she had, has done or said. And I can't think of anything. She's just so funny all the time. And she has like these different voices and accents. And she used to be a theater major, like she was in the theater and stuff. And so she's always been that way her whole life. And I swear it's been so great because she helped me get through so many things in our lives with her sense of humor, and she still does. And it's the best thing in the world. If you know anybody like that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm sure everyone has somebody in their life that is, the funny person or the funny one, and it could be you. So today, what I want you to do is think about those things. Think about the things that make you laugh, the people that have made you laugh, the stories, TV shows, anything that gets you into that space of, funny, right? It's like that helps you to feel better. You can feel it when you're laughing. It like opens up your heart chakra and it's like you expand. And when you do that, your energy shifts, it's like you are opening up to more abundance and more things to be happy about when you're in that space. And it's fun and we're supposed to be having fun in our lives, right? We're way too serious most of the time. And I know I'm guilty of that a lot too. I have had to really practice changing my attitude and my mood to be in a better space a lot of the time. And my sister was a really good teacher for me of that. Now, one of the things that I wanted to talk about is a couple of different things. One of them is, you've probably heard stories of people who have been sick in the hospital and, they were some of the stories that I've heard too is that, people were dying. They were not going to make it. And they were listening to things like that made them laugh, TV shows, joking around, and they only focused on that. And that reversed their health condition and it healed them. So laughter is very powerful, and we can use that as a tool to heal ourselves. And it's something you have to do consistently, though. It's like find the funny in life, find the laughter, find the silliness, allow yourself to be like that, to do that, to bring that energy in. Kids naturally have that gift and that ability, and we really need to tap into that more. We get way too serious. I actually have a sticky note, downstairs that says, don't be so serious. Don't take life so seriously. Because I really have to remind myself of that. So if you need to do that, put a message on your phone, put a note somewhere that you can see it and laugh, take time to laugh today. The other thing I wanted to talk about is this is a true story. When I was growing up, there was a relative of mine who had lost his wife and he ended up getting remarried. And when he got remarried, the lady that he got married to, she was really funny and she was very bubbly and she had this like just silly, personality and she was so fun. And I remember, her going up to this relative of mine and trying to get him to dance. She would grab his arms and be like, "Come on, dance with me." And he would push her away, and he'd be like, "Don't, don't do that. I don't want to, no, no, no." "Nah, nah, nah." That's, is that a thing? That's what he would do. And at least that's what I heard right in my little kid brain was because that's definitely like Scrooge energy. And like he was definitely like a curmudgeon. It was like very negative and always like very focusing on, the things that were wrong and never embracing life. He was just always pushing her, putting her down. And over time, it was really sad to watch because over time she lost her light. She lost her fun. And he really did take that from her. But she also allowed him to do that. And it was a really powerful lesson for me to see that and to not let anybody do that to me. And I always wished so much that she would have left because she deserved better than that. But, she didn't feel like she could. So I remember just those different times where she would try to bring in fun, right? And laughter. And she did that a lot for me as a kid. And I really appreciate that and I love that about her. And when I think about her, she makes me smile, because that was her energy. She was always trying to do that for all of us. So if you know somebody or if that's you, pay attention to that because don't let anybody, steal your light or steal your sparkle, dull your sparkle, right? And I also, another thing too, is I wanted to share this. I have a very good friend too that over the years in trying to like heal and deal with my trauma from my childhood, I have a friend that, I would talk to and she's so good about making jokes out of things that like, because there's a certain family member that could be really inappropriate and in my childhood. And so trying to like process some of that stuff, the laughter really did help. And so my friend would like make jokes out of some of the things that this person would do. And it was hysterical. And it really helped change the energy of the upset, right? And the loss of control and the helpless feeling into how ridiculous it was and how obnoxious, right? And it changed the energy. And so when I would think about it, it's like, same thing kind of like with that person. I'll be, that makes me laugh, that energy, that's how he was is, I wish that I would have been able to kind of mirror that or do that back and say, this is how you look like. But I was a kid and didn't know I could do that, right? I would have probably gotten in trouble. So, um, but now as an adult, I can make different choices, right? And I can see it from a different perspective and having people around us, right, like that, like our friends who turn things into a joke, right? Into a way for us to deal with that and heal it. It can be very healing. It can be very powerful using laughter as a healing tool. And it is truly, it is one of the best. So if there is something that you would like to share of something that makes you laugh or a TV show or, a particular scene in a movie, um, let me know. Comment in the comments, let us know. We could all use some extra laughter, and maybe your story or your favorite, TV scene is going to help somebody else today to crack up and to, get into a better space and a better mood. There is a movie that I'm thinking of, and I'm going to look it up because I wanted just to say this because this is one of my favorite scenes of all time, and it just flashed in my mind. It's with Sandra Bullock, and I'm trying to remember the name of the movie. I'm going to look it up. Hang on. Okay, so I looked it up and I'm cracking up. I'm crying. It's so funny. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was so funny. Seriously. So you will remember if you've seen the movie before, The Proposal. It's the dancing scene of The Proposal with Sandra Bullock and Betty White. Oh my gosh, I am crying. It's so that is one of my favorite scenes. It's the funniest thing ever. So maybe you don't think it's funny, but I do. I hope that you post a funny scene or a funny moment or a funny memory. Oh my God, I'm crying. And share it with us. Maybe that will make you laugh today and brighten your day. I love you all so much. Thank you. And have a good laugh.